It's week 0 in the state of Minnesota, but the Spring Grove Lions will be in action this week. They will be making the long trip out to Mountain Lake, and head coach Kody Moore joining us. And coach, obviously last year, a very special year for your program, but this year is a different group of individuals, similar parts, but a different group of individuals and a new team. Are there any characteristics about last year's team that you would like to see carry over to this year's team and become staples of your program?
Well, I think the biggest way we took a step forward last year is in our physicality and our mindset, and in terms of what we did in the off season as well, I felt like. And so I feel like these guys, we have enough of them that they had a large role on last year's team, whether it was offensively, defensively, special teams. So I do feel like so far we've seen those characteristics that made last year's group successful, and hopefully we continue to see that throughout the season as we get going here.
And you're one of a few teams to get a week 0 matchup in Minnesota. How did this matchup with Mountain Lake come to be?
Well, it's actually something where they kind of do a drawing in the southern districts. They do a drawing, and we got our name picked out of the hat. There's actually 4 teams in our district that are playing week 0, and so we were one of the 4 that were drawn. So it was one of those things where we're excited to get going. It's hard to describe what the off season was like. It felt really long. So I think the fact that we got to start a week sooner, our guys were happy about that, just to get back together and get grinding again. So it's been good. We're looking forward to it.
And I know you're focused on one opponent this week, and you go day by day and week by week, but having a week 0 game and a bye week in the course of the season, how will you structure your season a little differently than if you were playing every week?
Well, we actually are very fortunate, Darren. Our bye week, I think it came week 6 is when we have it. So, kind of right before the end of the season and that playoff stretch. So it'll be a nice time to kind of get guys extra rest, I think, and kind of allow them to be extra fresh for that home stretch and then on into tournament time. The state high school league does have limitations during that bye week on what you can do, how often you can get together and that type of stuff. So we kind of have a general idea how we laid that out. And then hopefully, a nice part about it too, is we can go and scout in person, take guys to a game and kind of experience a game that way. We don't get to do that as much anymore with huddle and all that. That's kind of taken that aspect away a little bit, but I think it'd be nice for all of us to go to a game somewhere local on Friday night and check it out.
And you guys been at practice for 3 weeks or so right now as you get ready for this Friday night. What's pleased you the most about practice to this point?
Well, this group is pretty business-like. They're not a loud, rowdy group. I mean, we have a few guys that can get that way. So it's a different dynamic in terms of we don't have a whole lot of hoot and hollering going on in practice, but they go about their business and get the job done. So that's what I like to see. I think they've been focused. We all know the way last year ended, they're hungry, and I'm excited for that aspect. I think you can see that in practice, and I'm just excited for Friday night. I know these guys are chomping at the bit to get out there and hit somebody else. It gets to be that long grind, third week seeing the same faces. So it'll be fun to get out to Mountain Lake Friday night and get things rolling.
I know a lot of Minnesota schools usually take this coming Saturday to scrimmage somebody. Did playing week 0 kind of take away that possibility?
Well, we did actually get to go out to Southland last Saturday and have a couple team scrimmage. We scrimmaged Lanesboro and Southland. So we did get some live action there, which is good. You don't want to go into that first week and not have really full tackled anybody or gone full go. So that was nice. It was good. We learned a lot. It's one of those things. Our positions, it's still a fluid document in terms of who goes where in some aspects. And, sometimes as a coach that worries you a little bit as you get closer to the game, but at the same time, it tells you that there's good competition battles going on. And so that's a good atmosphere at practice to have that, leading up into Friday.
What do you know about Mountain Lake?
So, we played them in 2018 in the state final. And so looking at their film, I have a few of their video clips or a few of their game films from last year. They're doing similar stuff that they did then. They like to spread it out. They really do a good job of in their run game out of the spread. They get extra hats to the point of attack. There's a lot of motion going on. So, having our defense tuned in to being able to adjust to that motion and understand what they're trying to do and getting extra hats to the point of attack, that'll be important. They're athletic. They didn't look super big last year, but again, you don't always know who's coming back and who's not from year to year. This first week is just always a little bit goofy that way. And then defensively, it looks like they're doing very similar stuff to what they did a few years ago as well. 3-man front. They're really sound in their gap control. And so we're going to try to throw some different things at them. And hopefully we do a real good job in the run game and getting that going early. That's the goal as always. And, I should note, I was real happy with the way our offensive line came out at the scrimmage on Saturday. And we really hope that's the case again on Friday night.
And of course, it's very warm this week, probably as warm as you can remember as a player or as a coach getting ready for the first game of the season. What type of adjustments are you making to make sure that you can prepare for week number 1, but at the same time, keep your guys healthy doing so?
Yeah, so it's a balancing act of we want to make sure that our guys are used to the heat. Being that Friday night, it's still going to be warm, not as warm as it is here these next few days, but so you want to make sure we're accustomed to that. These next couple of days are extreme though. So we have pushed practice back a little bit just later in the evening. And the good part about that too, is it's the time we're going to be playing Friday night anyway. So our bodies will be adjusted to being ready to play at 7:00 at night. And so that's what we're going to do these next few days. And, I know our guys are going to work really hard regardless of what time they practice. So that's the good part about it too. And, so yeah, we're excited. Friday can't come soon enough.
All right, Coach, obviously it was a very fun season last year. Hopefully the start of another fun season this Friday night. A, stay cool all this week. B, keep your guys healthy on Friday night, and we wish you best of luck.
Thanks a lot, Darren. We really appreciate it, man.
Kody Moore, head coach of the Spring Grove Lions, opening up at Mountain Lake Friday night.